Hello ladies and gentlemen, Panzer here. So, Blizzard released a new comic issue a couple of days ago, and it's set in Egypt, and I'm honestly surprised that a lot of other channels haven't mentioned this when it ties into the Sombra story, because it does. The story shows how Anna Amari finally met up with Jack Morrison after being missing for so long. It also contains some interesting hints about the stories that have yet to come, so I'm going to be going through the comic and retelling the story and breaking down the information as it comes along. At the beginning of the story, Soldier 76 is in Egypt looking at a wanted poster depicting a masked person. Of course, we already know this mask to belong to Anna Amari. A local man is telling him that a person named Hakim is offering good money for their apprehension. He also goes on to say that he wouldn't normally turn in one of their own unless the price is right. In essence, this unknown wanted character is supposedly working on the same side as this local man, but he's also saying that he'd be willing to accept a bribe. However, not is all as it seems. When Soldier 76 asks where to find Hakim, the man responds by offering to take him straight to Hakim at gunpoint, thus showing his true colours. Not to be trifled with, 76 promptly knocks him out and heads off to Giza, near the Temple of Anubis. Now, if that sounds familiar to any of you, that's because it's in the game as one of the maps, but there's also another connection to this place. On the next page, we're shown Hakim's compound and a thought bubble saying that Helix locked things down after the incident. In a previous issue of the comics featuring Farah and her team from Helix Security International were sent into the Temple of Anubis to shut down a rogue computer system that had taken control of the Omnics working there. And since the temple itself was a Helix base, it's possible that this is the incident that is being referred to here. As Soldier 76 approached an entrance to the compound, he heard a voice, and this is where things get interesting. The voice says, "No excuses, for your sake. Hope Sombra can get something useful out of this. Helix will have a weakness. They don't know what they're protecting. Any progress on our ghost?" Now this is interesting for many reasons. Firstly, this person is working with Sombra and is looking for the person on the wanted poster. Secondly, Helix is guarding something in the compound, but they don't fully understand what it is. Thirdly, Soldier 76 recognizes the voice because that voice belongs to Reaper. And as Soldier 76 scaled the wall and jumped into the compound, Reaper knew all along that he was coming in. After subduing the guard, Soldier 76 activates his tactical visor to find Reaper, only to have him appear behind him and shoot him in the back. The dialogue exchange that follows is also particularly interesting, as it sheds light on the incident that occurred at Overwatch HQ in Switzerland. Reaper tells 76 that he always knew his every move before he made it, and he'd been looking for 76 since the incident, and that he knew it'd take more than the explosion to kill him. He ends the dialogue by saying this is how it should have been. This indicates a couple of things. For one, it suggests that Reaper may have been behind what caused the explosion at Overwatch HQ, or that he, at the very least, knew for sure that Jack Morrison had survived it. But by saying that finishing Jack off with his shotgun was the way it should have been, Reaper could also possibly be saying that he should have killed Jack himself a long time ago. We're already aware of the hatred he has for Jack, so this should come as no surprise, but we soon find that his hatred goes deeper than just the office politics of the past. It's at this point that Anna enters the picture with a couple of well-placed shots with her biotic rifle, and she stops Reaper and heals 76. With the precious seconds now given to him, Soldier 76 tackles Reaper to the ground, but Reaper manages to escape and goes after Anna. After a sleep dart fails to incapacitate him, Anna is disarmed by Reaper and forced to fight him hand to hand. It's at this point that Reaper says he hadn't expected the person they were looking for to turn out to be Anna, and of course, that is the person that's on the wanted poster. But then he goes on to say that she always sided with Jack anyway, thus further showing the grudge Reaper bears towards Overwatch's former agents. But with a swift, low kick, Anna knocks Reaper off balance and throws him to the ground. She then grabs his mask and rips it off, exposing his face. Unfortunately, we don't get to see his face, but the look of horror on Anna's face is enough to give us an idea of just how badly scarred it might actually look. It's clear at this point that Anna had already been missing by the time the Overwatch headquarters was destroyed, so she had no idea of the full extent of what had happened to Reaper. Before he leaves, Reaper blames what happened to him on everyone at Overwatch. He blames them for leaving him to suffer and die, and reminds Anna to never forget that he was left to suffer. And as far as we know, he would have died too had Mercy not tried to save him with an experimental procedure. But it's clear that he bears a grudge towards Jax Morrison even now. However, it's now even less clear what exactly happened back in Switzerland. And of course, he resents what he is now. He doesn't really appreciate what was done to save his life, since the life that he lives isn't really worth living anymore. All along, it had been hinted that Reaper and 76 may have had a fight that led to the disaster, but it now seems more likely that it was a premeditated attack. But who would have carried it out? It certainly seems even less likely now that Reaper had anything to do with it, since he was left to die at the scene. Towards the end, Soldier 76 reveals that he had been looking for Anna all along and didn't believe she had been killed. At this point, we see a different side of Anna, one that felt ashamed that she had failed her team and her mission, and she cited that as the cause of wanting to go into hiding. However, she still wanted to help those in need from the shadows. Anna's no longer the mission-minded, hard-headed soldier she had been in the past too. She's now simply someone who cares about her friends and wants to protect them in any way she can. So she offers to team up with Soldier 76, and the pair continue on their mission. I'm definitely interested to see where this story goes, especially since the comic provides a lot more insight, but leaves a lot of questions unanswered. The mention of Sombra in this comic in particular provides one more question to answer. Who is she? And why is she working with Reaper? After all, Reaper seems to trust her enough to let her work on her own. In addition, who is Hakim? And why is Reaper working for him? Could this be a Talon operation, or is this something that Sombra and Reaper are working on independently? And finally, what really happened at the Switzerland-based Overwatch HQ? And tying this all back into the Sombra mystery as well, seeing the hints popping up everywhere from the number 23 in the hero trailer to the code breaking and stuff that I mentioned in my previous video about it. It's all shaping up to something, and I'm really keen on seeing where this all goes. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and don't forget to leave a like if you've enjoyed the video. Also, let me know what you guys think of this type of video. I had been planning to do a breakdown of the comics for some time, but I wasn't sure if you guys would enjoy that, so let me know if you did, and if you want to see more videos like this. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. My name is Panzer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.